This is my review of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. The film came out in 2002, and yeah, this is my review. It's an artistic visual masterpiece that takes you to a great science fiction universe. I love this film, and Attack of the Clones is ranked 20th on my list of best films for me, and I also rank it second on my list of the best Star Wars movies. I grew up with the prequels, so I'm very much part of the prequel generation of Star Wars fans. I was 5 years old when Attack of the Clones was released, so I may be slightly biased. Moving on as to why I think Attack of the Clones is such a great film. Well, the obvious really is the CGI. I love the CGI in this movie. The CGI in this film is commonly criticised, but I think the worlds in this film, such as Coruscant and Naboo, were so beautiful to look at. To see those futuristic flying ships flying about on Coruscant makes it look so futuristic. Naboo looks so beautiful. I love the look of the rooms and buildings in the entire prequel trilogy. Many of those rooms and buildings wouldn't look so great without the CGI. I feel Attack of the Clones shows what life is like on Coruscant the most out of all the Star Wars movies, showing ordinary people just going about their lives on the futuristic capital planet of the Republic. Watching the Coruscant scenes felt like it was Earth in the year 2200 or something like that. So it just felt very incredible and fascinating to imagine the possibilities of all that kind of future technology. The CGI doesn't look like it's aged well, aged at all, sorry. None of it looks fake. The CGI still looks very real to me, and that's the main thing really. The CGI may not look so real to some people, but main thing is I still feel the CGI looks realistic in the old prequel movies, so therefore as long as it doesn't look fake to a point it distracts you from being immersed in the film, and there's really no problem with it. The Dexter's Diner and the Outlander Club buildings look particularly great in Attack of the Clones, and both hold a special place in my heart. Dexter's Diner will always be a great place to look at for me, especially as it was the hub for the first Lego Star Wars video game, and I just love the look of the futuristic dining furniture, the weird alien cuisine, the eccentric robot waitress, and a feeling of Dexter based in the diner of the 1950s American diner from Earth, like as if they have knowledge of the Earth from thousands of or hundreds of years ago. I thought of going to a diner to be greeted by the friendly alien Dexter and be well accommodated by great interesting cuisine, great ambience and affordable prices for the food, whilst at the same time getting wise and knowledgeable advice from the smart alien known as Dexter Jetster. Has always made me really want to go to that diner, or at least a diner be made like it in real life as a replica. The bright lights, music, and gambling activities at the Outlander Club also fascinated me, and I imagine that would probably be the best place to get drunk if it existed, especially with the exotically coloured Star Wars alcoholic beverages served at the club. The extreme psychedelic and euphoric effects Deficits offer would give people would also be a great thing to have, and really makes one want to be part of the amazing heart thumping, adrenaline rushing, female Jedi buttock pounding Star Wars universe. So yes, Death Six was an interesting and very euphoric aspect of this movie, which is great imagining about. It's a shame they aren't very safe and very addicting. The character lineup in this movie was amazing, having great characters such as Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and they even added some characters to this film which weren't in the Phantom Menace, such as Dooku. I also thought Dooku was a better character than Darth Maul, more interesting than Darth Maul, so that's one of the reasons why I prefer Attack of the Clones, not just because it features more beautiful worlds, but also because Dooku is a more complex character, not so black and white in my opinion, as in my view Dooku was never a true Sith Lord. I believe Dooku actually only pretended to be a Sith Lord to try and stop Palpatine, Luke, who never had yellow eyes like Sith Lords, never really used dark side powers except in duels, and he was an old Jedi Master before 32 with BBY. A lot of people criticise it, but I really enjoy Anakin and Padme's romance in this film. A lot of people say their romance was too fast and they fell in love too quickly, but I like that aspect of it because it's more romantic and gives you a lot of hope. As falling in love quickly is one of those amazing fantasies of a lot of people. Some people can fall in love very quickly in real life. It's not like it can't happen in real life, but it isn't common. One of the reasons they fell in love so quickly may have something to do with the Chosen One prophecy, which would give them more reason to fall in love fast. I think Anakin's mother's death also sped up their romance for realistic reasons. Anakin's mother's death was another really great scene in this film. Padme was there for Anakin when he needed her, and in a way, because Padme could see how much Anakin cared about his mother, it proved to Padme just how good a person Anakin is. I don't really see any real problems in Attack of the Clones. Of course, there's a hated line where Anakin talks about sand, which gets a lot of criticism, but I've always thought that line made perfect sense because Anakin came from a desert planet and he hated Tatooine, had a terrible childhood on Tatooine. Sandstorms occur commonly on Tatooine, so that also would have made life unpleasant for Anakin on Tatooine. It was also very hot in Tatooine, so that probably would have given him sunburn at times. And Tatooine is, of course, sandy, so it makes sense. The sand would remind him of Tatooine, a place which would have brought back terrible memories for Anakin. So for me, that line made sense, and I think the line is great. I really liked Hayden's portrayal of Anakin in Attack of the Clones. I like the progression of a character because in episode 2, Anakin was a bit like Luke in New Hope, where he was a whiny, spoilt teenage farm boy. In episode 2, Anakin was similar, being whiny, spoilt, and then very arrogant, Padawan learner. So it really drew a good parallel between father and son, so I did like that aspect, and shows how similar Luke and Anakin, and showcases that special father and son bond. Teenagers, after all, more prone to tantrums, so I thought that was realistic. I felt Anakin's anger was portrayed brilliantly, especially during the scene where he reveals to Padme he killed the Tusken Raiders. I thought that was perfectly delivered and very realistic. Um, you could really see the anger when he said that, and he was obviously trying to bottle up his anger to try not to show Padme, be less awkward and be more Jedi-like. But when he finally released his anger when he tells the truth, just made it so much more emotional, satisfying and realistic. I also think Attack of the Clones are the best duels in a Star Wars movie until Revenge of the Sith. The Clone Wars and the big battle was fantastic and was a good way to show how powerful the Jedi Order was, as well as the likes of Obi-Wan and Anakin, especially as there were 200 Jedi that took part in the battle, and only Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace, Shaak Tay, and a few other Jedi Masters survived, so it really shows the correlation between the average Jedi, skilled Jedi, and Jedi Council members. So overall, Attack of the Clones is a great film, great settings, great action scenes, a really complex plot, much more complex plot than the original trilogy movies, and had a brilliant character lineup. Well, I hope you enjoyed my review, and catch you next time.